All right. Well, welcome. I am so glad you're here because there is a conversation that is happening all across social media. It's in the news, it's in quiet conversations between people, and a lot of people are asking the same question. Why do I feel off, but I can't explain it? So, I just want to remind us that tonight is not about fear, it's about awareness and learning how to listen to the body in a deeper way. So let's just take one collective breath together so we can ground in this moment. And so if we just take an inhale and an exhale, perfect. We'll just arrive here in this body because our time is so precious and we all chose to come together. So grateful. So I want to shift into something right away because, like I said, there may be a lot of fear around this conversation. Parasites, and they're not just bad. In some ways, they are a part of nature's cleanup system. They tend to show up in environments where there's buildup, where there's undigested proteins, where there's waste, toxicity, imbalance. So they're not the root problem, but they're a signal of an environment. So they don't create the terrain, they respond to it. And I really love to use this analogy on compost. So think about compost. If you've ever worked with soil, you know this. When compost is off, it smells, it's stagnant, it attracts the wrong organisms. And when it's balanced, it's sweet, it's alive, it creates fertile soil. It's the same planet, but different environments. So our body works the same way. It's not about fighting organisms, it's about restoring the ecosystem. So, why is the conversation suddenly everywhere? I feel it's really because people are recognizing in themselves there's major fatigue. We have high levels of brain fog happening, bloating, cravings, anxiety. Has anybody had any of these? Drop a two in the comments, right? And this is a science perspective as well. This isn't just fringe. Over a billion people worldwide are being affected by parasitic infection. They say that here in the United States, there are millions impacted every year, and not everybody has obvious symptoms. So, what I'm getting at is this isn't new. This is awareness, and that's what's new. So, people aren't necessarily suddenly getting sicker. It's just we're starting to really notice and put the dots together. So, I just want to zoom out for a minute. Our body is an ecosystem. One of the most important relationships in that system is the brain gut connection. So your brain doesn't just live in your head, it's in constant communication with your body, especially your gut. So through the vagus nerve, immune signal, microbial activity, your internal environment is shaping how you think, how you feel, how you function. So when people feel foggy, tired, anxious, just off, it's not just in their heads, it's in our system. And that doesn't necessarily mean something's wrong with you. It just means your body is asking for support. So this is tends to be where people get stuck, right? We have one side, you have social media like amplifying everything. And then on the other side, you have a system that is often misses subtle imbalances, so people sit in the middle. I don't feel right. My labs are normal, right, but I have no clear answers. You could be told you feel fine, but still not feel like yourself. So instead of approaching this again from fear, we're going to approach it from the environment. So there's a part that often gets missed, like we just spoke on. You know, Restoring the terrain isn't just about adding in more good things. It's also about clearing up what doesn't belong there anymore. Because if there's buildup, if there's waste, if there's imbalance, the body can't receive what you're giving it. So there's gentle, intentional cleansing becomes really important. Nothing extreme, nothing aggressive. We don't want to shock our bodies. Nobody needs that anymore. It's already happening in day to day life. But supporting the body and doing what it was designed to do, eliminate, because your body already has detox pathways. The question is, are they being supported or are they overwhelmed? And many people are feeling overwhelmed. So when it comes to parasites specifically, again, this isn't fear. This is about awareness. The internal environment has had buildup over time. Parasites take advantage of that terrain. So instead of saying, how do I attack this? We're going to shift the question to, how do I make my body a better place where this can't thrive? Right? So that's where something like Super Cleansar comes into play. And this is a beloved product in our home. I'm so excited that we all actually just finished our yearly the first cleanse of the year, and it was so wonderful. But it gently cleanses the system. It's supporting elimination pathways. It helps the body clear deeper layers of buildup. So this is including the kind of environment where parasites tend to thrive. They live in these environments of buildup. And it's not aggressively, again, it's not forcibly, it's intelligently. It's working with God's beautiful design and ingredients and really coming in to support the body. And for a lot of people, this is a missing piece. They're doing all the right things. People are eating better. People are taking supplements. But if their system is still congested, they don't feel the benefits. So when they support the body in a cleanse properly, they begin to notice more energy, clearer thinking, less bloating, and more balance overall. And this is huge in a person's life, right? So at the end of the day, this conversation really isn't about parasites. It's about our body communicating. Most people are just never taught how to listen. So when you start to listen, things begin to shift. Like I said, the energy, clarity, connection. We start to feel like ourselves again. And if you've done one of these parasite cleanses, if you've done the Super Cleansar, you can feel what it feels like to be sovereign in your body. And it really is an incredible sensation. I'm excited to hear some testimonies soon so we can hear that this isn't just theory, but this is a lived experience. And I recognize some familiar faces on this call. So I'm excited to hear your take, your share, your experience. What were you feeling before? What were you feeling, as you were doing the Super Cleansar? And how do you feel now? So if we could have a few shares, you could just raise your hand. Of course, we're refraining from using the words healing or cure to be welcoming to all. So Shelby, so lovely to see your face.
Hello, Nicole. Thank you so much for hosting this lovely call for all of us today. Yeah, you said something right out of the gate about how this is the missing piece for so many people. And I had never really thought about cleansing for parasites, before Purium came into my life. And wow, what a difference maker it is. And what I love about the Super Cleanser is it's very gentle, but it's very effective. And so for myself, I was amazed at how much I was releasing, is honestly what it comes down to. Elimination is the name of the game, and I'm all about supporting my bowels. And I was like, okay, so there is no cap to my health. It really does just keep getting better and better and better. And I love the natural herbal support for that. And I also had a client. I thought this was interesting. But the body, it does heal in layers. It rejuvenates itself in layers, and it's not always done in just one swoop. And so I have one client who has been through the 90-day program, which I highly recommend incorporating the additional nutrition around the Super Cleanser to get that nourishment. But he has done it now 3 times. And it was this third round where he really passed something. It was a visual worm, and he knew it was a worm. And he was like, how? I've already done the parasite cleanse 3 times, and it's like you peel back these layers like an onion, and there's just so much the body holds on to sometimes that we don't realize. And so, yeah, the Super Cleanser is just such a gentle but powerful way to get things moving, increase our peristaltic action, and it's just really powerful. And we do it in the 2 phases, which is very effective for making sure it's done sustainably. So I love, love, love it. And it's a staple in our home. Thank you.
Oh, yes, Shelby. I love that. I love how you bring up to like the gentleness because it is, if many, there are lots of cleanses out there that could be kind of harsh for people. And the program with the ULT that we have here with Purium is just so holistic, and it really just hits all the marks and makes sure we're staying hydrated and nourished deeply while we're removing this buildup. And I 100% agree with you that this is a layered process. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. It's like creating that good soil, right? When you hear a regenerative farmer that just started, like, yeah, we're praising them on, but the ones who have been doing it for 20 years, that soil is so rich, right? So it just keeps, we can keep, getting deeper in our bodies and just, trying to live in this world is no easy feat. And what a blessing it is to find a tool that can help us. Thank you for sharing, Shelby. Camille.
Yeah, thanks. I'm so excited about this conversation. I absolutely love parasite cleansing and love helping my clients through that. Uh, Before I found this program, I always wanted to parasite cleanse, but the information that I came across was really overwhelming. It was like adding in all these different kinds of foods and following strict regimens. And yes, you do want to be really mindful of your diet around parasite cleansing because there are certain foods that feed parasites, but it doesn't have to be that hard. Like this is such a simple protocol. And I love that the like how this supports the body to naturally like kind of fall into that cleansing phase because it, deeply the superfoods they like you said, it just cleans up the terrain beforehand, which is super important. And for me personally, some of the biggest changes that I've noticed when I've done parasite cleansing is that my cravings really start to disappear. It's those foods um, that we know we shouldn't be eating, like the fried foods and the chips and the donuts and the cookies and all of those things. Ironically, those are all the things that feed parasites. So when you go in and you start to kill them off, those cravings go down, and you just feel better in general because you're not wanting to fuel yourself with toxic things. So I would say that's one of the biggest wins for me. And then what I see like in my like clinical practice too is really long term symptoms starting to lift because they may have come, they may be at a stage where their body is just so overwhelmed that they're starting to show up with these chronic symptoms. And when you go in there and start to clean out these guys, those symptoms start to really you know be noticeably better. So I think it's really awesome to do parasite cleansing. I say seasonally. And just one thing that I never knew until I found this program was that you want to do it in cycles because you can go in, you can take these herbs and go in and kill the parasites, but if you do not repeat the process, then you have, more of an overgrowth because they lay eggs. So it's super important that you go in and do another sweep with the herbs. And I love that this program already puts enough herbs so you can do 2 rounds of parasite cleansing so that you can complete that kill cycle. And yeah, it just makes a huge difference.
Yes, you bring up so many good points. And yes, the Super Cleanser Pack comes with the 2 cycles. So you would do it for 10 days in a 30-day window, and then you would wait 20 days and do the second 10-day cycle. And it is feels so good to finish up that journey, and it makes it doable for all kinds of lifestyles. And again, creating that healthy environment because the world is got all kinds of things going on, right? We got heavy metals overloaded, which parasites love to feed off of. And again, cleaning up that terrain. So no matter what's going on in our environments, our internal body, we can control this to some extent, right? We can help this to some extent. We might not be able to always control what's going on the outside, but we can do our part to help with this. And so, yeah, I 100% am with you, Camille. Love that. Justine.
Hey. So yeah, what Camille said about how she didn't know about the cycles, like how you had to do it in cycles. I feel like so many people I know jump into parasite cleansing without the nourishment and without knowing how they have life cycles. And there's just like horror stories around that. But my story personally was I was like doing all the right things all the time, did all the right things until I learned about this. And I was dealing with like really bad skin breakouts, and it would be like when I ate particular foods that I noticed. But after I did Super Cleanse R, I don't deal with those breakouts anymore. So I make sure that I am doing it like 2 to 3 times a year personally myself. And then another thing I like to talk about, one of my customers, somebody who used to be really close to me.
Oh, you froze, Justine. Oh,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Okay. So he was diagnosed with candida. So when he did super cleansar, and candida is a yeast overgrowth inside the intestinal lining. So think about like sourdough starter, and that's what he was like eliminating. I think I'm frozen.
We can
No.
still hear you though. And I
Oh,
love
you
that you bring
can?
that up because,
Okay.
right, super cleanser will help
Did
with
she go in?
parasites, but it also helps with mold and fungus and yeast, right? It's going to help clean up the system. So that's incredible because, yeah, no fun. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to add to that, but you're not frozen.
Okay, yeah. No, that was it. Just like that was so remarkable to see. I mean, we saw it physically in the toilet, not to get TMI, but like it was just like white, like you would think like sourdough starter looked. It was pretty insane.
Yeah. And another really beautiful thing is, right, a lot of people can just go into like, okay, parasites, yeah, I need to get it out and go find something at the store and they have no support with it, and not a full set for nutrition and hydration and just the guidance. And Purium comes with that, right? We have this community that you can come to. You'll have groups and Facebook groups and websites and phone numbers of people that you can actually connect with and be able to help guide you through this process, which is a really beautiful thing. Rita, we'd love to hear from you.
Hi, beautiful. Thank you for this conversation. And I love all these stories. And yeah, I just remember the first time I did a parasite cleanse with Purium, I noticed an immediate shift in my energy and my mental well-being. I just felt happier and lighter. And I learned afterwards how parasites can have an effect on your nervous system and yeah, directly have an impact. So it was just really neat to see such a shift in my mood and my well-being. And I love this holistic conversation where it's really about the terrain, like you were talking about, because all of the superfoods, the shakes and the gut support, that all feeds the healthy microorganisms and creates a thriving environment for healthy microorganisms. And then the super cleanser just gets in there at a deeper level. So I love doing this reset, a couple times a year for myself, and it feels wonderful. So thank you.
Yes, I love that. And with spring coming up, this is a great time to really get yourself focused on a spring cleanse. It's a collective energy that many people are on board with and going along with cleaning, spring cleaning our home and our email list, right? And our Facebook friends and all the things doing our body is just of utmost responsibility to us. And right, you have that ability to feel yourself again, to feel alive. So many amazing shares. We could talk all day on this product, but I'm really going to honor the time on this call and everyone's time here. So I just want to really thank everybody for your shares. It just adds so much depth when we can have real live stories come in on this because we're talking about people's well-being in everyday life, whether it's stiff joints or inflammation, mood and emotions, mental clarity, just skin issues, all these things really add up in our life and can, stop us from doing the work that we're called to do. So what a blessing it is to be able to have Super Cleansar, to be able to clean up the system. So again, thank you all for being here. And if someone invited you to this call, please reach back out to them because they know you. They know your goals. They know your lifestyle. They can help you with your next steps. And I do want to say that we have created an amazing, simple 60-second quiz to help you find the best starting place. Let's see. I don't know if somebody has it, Mary Beth or Rita, if you guys have it. It's quick. Oh, thank you, Rita. It's quick. It's personalized. It takes the guesswork out. So highly recommend utilizing this tool. And remember, you don't need to do everything. You just need to start listening to our bodies, and that's going to go a long way. So I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you're setting yourself up for an amazing spring, and let's just keep inspiring each other. to be our best selves and do this work in this planet. Aloha, everyone. Yeah, thank you, Rita. Have a great night.